and gentlemen, welcome to NJPW Puro Wrestling Review. Oh no, this is Stardom Review. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Stardom Review. I am just not good at this. I'm leaving that all in because it's been a lot of New Japan lately. We've been doing New Japan, Japan. So welcome to Stardom Review. I should know by the background, but no, I guess I don't. Welcome to Stardom Review, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to chat some Stardom, the 5-star Grand Prix nights 6, 7, and 8 from the 8th, 10th, and 12th. I am your co-host, Andresi. Right over that way is the surprise princess herself, Melball, because I cut her off to start the video. I didn't realize I was cutting her off, though.
That's kind of like the setup for how this day is kind of going already. It is early for both of us.
8 a.m. It's 8 a.m. in the morning as we record this on Thursday. Thursday? Yes, on Thursday. This will come out on Friday. We record this on Thursday at 8 a.m., ladies and gentlemen. Mm-hmm. And Mel has stuff at 9. So we are going to be hammering through this. We are just covering the 5-star Grand Prix matches from nights 6, 7, and 8 just to get you caught up on the 5-star Grand Prix. And we will be back either this weekend or early next week with the August 13th show coverage because that's going to be a big, big show.
Yes.
Before we start, I want to say thank you for all the great comments. Please keep liking the video, subscribing to the channel, keep commenting down below, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello. So we started out on night number 6, August 8th. We have a Maika versus Momo Watanabe. Good solid start. Maika dumps Momo over the top, gets the lariat off the apron. Like the jumping off the apron lariat. Momo reverses the whip, sends Maika into the chairs and into the post. This is where she starts working on the arms and works on the arm back in the ring with submissions and kicks. Beautiful backdrop by Maika to stop the momentum of Momo Watanabe. Again, it's 8 a.m., ladies and gentlemen. I just got up. And hits her.
Wow, Momo Kogo, she went through a change.
Yeah, and she hits, and Maika hits the clothesline using her injured arm too. Mm-hmm. Momo pulls an arm bar, but Maika gets to the ropes. Maika cuts her off up top. They fight, and Maika gets the superplex, and then a judo sweep for 2. She applies the rear naked choke, but Momo Watanabe gets to the ropes. Rina gets on the apron to distract the ref, but Maika ends up ducking the first bat shot, and then catching the bat. Then she gets a lariat and hits that sit outside, where she looks up, she's gonna hit a driver, then spins her out to the side.
Yeah, I love that move.
She gets that for 2. Momo comes back with a roundhouse kick and the half and half suplex. Both women are laid out. Beautiful hop up into the Meteora by Momo for 2, and then she gets an inverted dude buster, but Maika rolls through into her own pin for 2. But Momo hits the bridging tiger suplex for 2. Then she hits another, and Momo Watanabe gets the win.
This was a fun match. I really enjoyed this match. I mean, obviously, I love Maika. So, to me, Maika can do really no wrong in this company. But, man, powering through that injury after Momo has been targeting that arm for most of the match. I mean, and Maika and Mirai both in the last, I'm going to say probably about a year, both suffering from arm injuries there. Both of them been heavily taped since last year's Grand Prix tournament. But man, Momo Watanabe, the skill that she has, she's just so good. I'm also very partial to the hair color. For obvious reasons. But man, I was actually definitely expecting Maika to pick up a win in this one, but I'm not mad about Momo picking up the win in this because she's been doing so good. And I feel that she's been a little quiet since joining Oedo Tai. She used to be quite, I don't want to say loud and proud in Queen's Quest, but she was certainly having, I'm going to say, more title opportunities. She was more a standout in Queen's Quest than she has been in Oedo Tai. I'm hoping maybe with this Grand Prix tournament that we can maybe see her step up a little bit more, maybe kind of rise to that rank that Tora has.
Yeah, again, she's in a pretty decent position so far. She's only had a couple matches, and I think she's undefeated. Or
I
only has
believe
like
so. Yeah.
4 points, I think, and she's only had 2 or 3 matches. She's in a
Yeah.
position right now, so
Her gear looks great too. New gear for her. Very cool.
it's so similar to the old gear though.
It is, but it's got that lavender purple as opposed to like the dark purple in her hair.
Mm,
And the straps are also different. Before she had
yeah.
just had the yellow straps all over. Now she's kind of got that half and half black and yellow. Black and yellow,
Mm.
black and yellow.
We move on from that. It's Julia versus Mariah May.
You
Uh,
must have struggled with this one, huh?
God, I love both these people. They're awesome. Good wrestling start from both. Julia really working over the arm. Mariah May fights back with a hard slap to the face, and Julia returns a hard slap. Then they just slap the shit out of each other. Um, May slaps Julia when she gets her in the corner. Then she puts her up top and slaps her again up
Mhm.
top. But Julia ends up stopping the Trish Stratus Rana and hits a drop kick for 2. Then applies an STF, but Mariah May gets to the ropes. Northern Lights hammerlock suplex for 2 by Julia. Then the Falcon Arrow. Mariah May ends up getting herself gets the roll up for 2. Then she gets the German suplex. May gets multiple chops in the corner, puts Julia up, and this is where she gets the Trish Stratus Rana, and then gets a top rope drop kick for 2. The fairy tale ending, or the Angel's Wings, or the Implant Bust, whatever you want to call it. I like calling it fairy tale ending because Tommaso Ciampa just has the best name for that move. Fairy tale ending by Mariah May for 2. She gets an arm and transitions in the armbar, but Julia does get to the ropes. They fight on the apron. May gets the sunset flip bomb off the apron to the floor. That looked brutal.
Mhm.
Julia stops Mariah May going up top when they're back inside, and she gets the butterfly suplex off the top. Then they trade backdrop drivers, and May hits the sling blade, and they're both laid out. They start to train forearms and slaps and beating the crap out of each other. Julia then reverses the tombstone, but May slips she slips out of the tombstone into a ripcord slap.
Yeah.
Very into. Or sorry, yeah, and then Julia gets a straight knee to the face for 2, then hits the glorious driver for the win.
Hmm. What a fun little match this was. I really felt that, like, for me personally, this was a battle of personality and charisma. It really the both of these women so charismatic, just naturally, especially in Japan. Julia is just so over with the crowd, and so same with Mariah. She's kind of come in and just kind of taken over, and I'm kind of living for it. I love how the crowd is just so behind both of these women. They must have been exactly like you, that whole crowd, just sitting there struggling. Man, um, Barbie Blade, by the way, not Sling Blade. Come on now. We can give Mariah her custom name. She's earned it. Yeah, this one was a lot of fun for me. Again, it's just a battle of that charisma. Every time that they were not physically interacting with each other, they were intellectually interacting with each other. And for me, it just really made kind of the whole match. Yeah, I actually did expect Julia to pick up the win on this one, just because she's a double champion right now. Can't have her taking too many losses. You'll end up like Suri last year, where it was just like, why are you holding a belt? But yeah, this was a very exciting match for me. I think this of the matches that we're talking about, this one was actually very, very highly rated for me.
Oh yeah, absolutely phenomenal. Like
Hmm.
these two, um, absolutely killed it in the ring.
And Julia's hair now,
Oh
so
yeah,
cool,
looks great.
so
We
unique.
move on though. Siri versus Nazi Boy. Really good mat based transition wrestling at the start.
Mhm.
Really getting the basics. Siri gets the arm bar. Then they go into a bit more mat based wrestling. Cartwheel into the arm drag, and then the kick, followed by the kick for Nat. Siri chokes Nat in the corner, then trips her down and hits that running knee to the face in the corner. It looked absolutely brutal. And she gets
Mhm.
she gets 2, then gets the rear naked choke, but Natsupoi gets to the ropes. The trade forearm shots. Suri unloads with knees to the midsection, then hits a suplex, then a knee to the face on the ropes, sending Nat to the floor, and then she gets a running knee on the floor. Nat fights back, hits that wheelbarrow bulldog on the floor, and then she goes up to the top, but Suri comes up and then like just tosses her onto the apron. Oh my god,
Mm-mm.
that looked absolutely brutal, except for especially for like a tiny little girl like that. She's got like no
I
padding at all. Like, oh
we know how Poi just takes a licking and keeps on ticking. It
yeah,
just she gets beat up a lot, but she still gets up. It's amazing.
it just looks so rough taking that bump.
Yeah.
Suri unloading kicks, gets a 2 count, then gets that sharpshooter knee bar style move where she's like laid back.
Oh yeah. I think it's
Yeah,
brutal.
but Natsupoi does get to the ropes. Natsupoi unloads shots, but Suri fights back. But Nat gets the kick and the headhunter, followed by the drop kick and the ropes. Nat tries the apron German, but gets kicked and collapses to the floor. But she's playing possum, and as soon as Suri's out there, she slips around, gets the German on the floor, then gets a crossbody off the top to Suri on the floor. Back of the ring, Suri stomping the hell out of Nat, but Nat catches a kick, gets a roundhouse, and then a German suplex goes off, gets cut off. Suri gets the hammerlock suplex off the top, and then and keeps the hammerlock on the mat. Then transitions into the stretch muffler, but Nat does get to the ropes, so Suri hits the green killer for 2. Cartwheel bomb for 2 by Nat. Uh, and then the spin kick and then the kneeling spin kick, then the bridging German for 2, knee to the face by Suri for 2, then the gut buster off the shoulders for 2. Nat gets the straight jacket German for 2. Then she's kicking, and then Suri's throwing knees, and then Natsupoi gets a Ferio ring, and the ref goes to start counting, but the time expires.
Mhm.
Great. Like, it
Mhm.
did not feel like 15 minutes. Well, it was actually only like 12 and a half for me because I watched it at 1.5 times the speed.
Fair, fair. It's always an interesting pleasure to see these two wrestle,
Reschel.
wrestle.
Reschel.
Um, Suri is just she's on a roll right now, but it's like it's a weird role for me. Like the energy about it is weird because she's doing so good and performing so good, but she's not picking up the wins as much as she has in the past, particularly with these tournaments and even since. Um, Something worth discussing, maybe Andre, is Cash Misaki. The addition of her maybe causing a little bit of I don't want to say
Distraction.
tarnish, but like maybe giving a little bit of bad luck to the God's Eye girls because we're seeing also Mirai. She's kind of having an iffy go of it in this tournament, also. So I don't know. Interesting thing to discuss. What do you think, Andre?
Bad luck. Bad luck, Saki. Now she just
Oh
needs a
my
beret.
god. Yeah. Oh my
She
god,
needs
that'd
a
be
beret.
great.
She needs a beret.
She does, and aviators and everything. That'd be a great tag team. He could just yeet her all over the place. Why
That would,
not?
that would be
Back to
awesome.
this match though. Um the thing that I've been mentioning over the last couple shows, Natsupoi, she's kind of that dark fairy. I would really like to see her move like even just Cosmic Angels in general. I would like to see them keep the name, but I would love to see them kind of step into that Dark Angel kind of era just because I feel like a lot of like even Sayori, the only one who isn't really exuding some kind of dark anything is Yuna. And I think it's just because she's too sweet. But I feel like there's dark undertones coming here from Natsupoi, like in everything that she does. She's antagonistic. She's bullying people while she's wrestling. She's making fun of them after when she lose or when they lose. You know, it's not something that you expect of a hee hee. You know, it's something you expect from a dark fairy. So again, I would love to see her kind of move to that. I'd like to see Sayori go to that also, since I feel like she's kind of more there than Poi even is. And How cool would it be to see Tam kind of take a darker persona while still being the cute, cosmic angel that she is, just kind of change it up, and instead of wearing like, white and pink, maybe purple and pink, like a dark purple, make her. What do you think?
I was going to say dark purple and red, and they can be the Cosmic Devils.
Hey, well, Little Devil is already Rena, unless they steal her, maybe too.
Yeah.
Why not?
Again, there's so many. I think an evil Tam would really scare me, like legitimately, because he's like,
It could be almost like a sweeter, Japanese version of like Rhea Ripley, where she's dark and evil, but like everyone likes her because she's sexy. It could work.
Okay.
It could work. We gotta try.
People only like Rhea Ripley because of Dom Dom. Come on.
That's the reason people don't like Rhea Ripley.
Former star. Didn't Rhea work in Stardom at one point? Maybe I'm wrong.
I sure hope so. She would fit in.
Yeah. We move on. Main event of the August 8th show, night number 6. It's Mayu Iwatani versus Suzu Suzuki.
Holy hell.
Fast start from these two. Suzu gets the corner mounted punches, roll up into the rocket kick, or like the running straight kick by Mayu Iwatani, and then the drop kick in the rope, sending Suzu out. But Suzu cuts off the suicide dive with a DDT through the ropes onto the apron, then hits the drive-by drop kick, followed by a knee to the back of the head in the ring for 2 by Suri. They trade strikes, or by Suzu. It is early in the morning. I've only been up for like 40 minutes, 45, maybe an hour now.
I was just going to say, outside interference. Holy hell, I don't remember that part.
No, by Suzu for 2. They trade strikes, but Suzu gets the headhunter for 2. And then it looked like the headhunter at least.
I know it, yeah.
And then she gets this arm and I took a screenshot for it. Forgot to add it to this, but she got this arm and leg trap submission to Mayu that looked really good. She had like the right leg, and then she had the left arm like pulled in. So it was like crossing across her body, but it was like tightening in. It looked really good.
Very unique, yeah.
But Mayu did get the ropes. Mayu blocks Tequila shot and gets the super kick, but Suzu hits the German, and both of them are down. Mayu gets the drop kick in the corner and a kick to the head, sending Suzu out. And Mayu gets the tope suicida to the floor. Almost a top rope suicida. Back in the ring, Firestar Frog splash by Mayu for 2. Suzu stops the Snapdragon, hits a half Nelson slam, then kicks to the head and the tequila shot for 2. German suplex by Suzu, but Mayu ends up rolling her up for 2, and then she gets a crucifix bomb for 2. They trade strikes and kicks, and Mayu gets the super kick, hits the tombstone, then the second rope moonsault for 2. Suzu tries to stop the Snapdragon, but Mayu does get it, and she gets the win.
Whew, what a ride this one was. This was an exciting one. Like, the energy level on this was just go, 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 go from start to finish. I had a great time with this one. Suzu, again, one of my favorites, top 5 in this company. And my goodness, has she really, really come out of her shell since stepping out of prominence, which breaks my heart because I love prominence. And I miss seeing Risa Sera, and I'm forgetting the partner's name. Why am I forgetting her name? The girl with the short hair. Why am I losing it?
I can't remember it.
I'm an asshole because that woman is amazing. Anyway, Suzu, she's really come out of her shell, as I mentioned. She's really winning me over in this tournament. Obviously, this is the IWGP Women's Champion. It's going to be hard to pick up a win over someone who's so iconic in this company. But man, Suzu really put her through the ringer and really made her work really hard for that win, and I live for it. I'm really loving also the marketing that they're doing for Suzu now. And Going like we have a few more shows that we've watched. I've already watched also the Stardom X Stardom one. I'm like, man, this woman's on a roll. She's climbing that ladder. I can't wait to see her come here to North America because it's only a matter of time. They're marketing her for it, 100%.
Yeah, Hiragi Kurumi, by the way.
Thank you. I knew it started with an H, but I didn't want to mess it up. Hiragi, yes, I love her. So good, so good, and her rainbow hair is just so cute too.
So we move on to the August 10th, my birthday show. That was just on my birthday. It's Suzuki versus Natsuko Tora. This just looked like two people that are going to murder each other. Just by the pictures, it looks like two people are about to murder each other.
But like Suzu doesn't even look murderous in this picture. She looks adorable.
No. It's the eyes. It's those eyes.
It's all in the eyes.
You know those eyes are going to kill you. Tora has that look of like, I'm going to maul you to death. And Suzu has that like look of like she's got that.
Come hither so I can kill you.
She has a pure beauty on her face, but you look at her directly in the eyes, it's like, oh, I'm going to die.
If you look her in the eyes, you can see the murder grandpa sitting back there cackling at you.
Very much so. It's in the eyes. Suzu attacks during the entrance of Tora, chokes her with the pipe, tossing her into the chair on the floor as they get in the ring, but then they roll right back out. Tora hits her with the pipe, then tosses Suzu into the chairs twice. Tora hits a Samoan drop onto the chair, onto the Oedo tie chair, specifically on the floor. Back of the ring, Tora missed Suzuki and missed the ref, then hits two sentons and gets a 2 count. So obviously the miss wasn't that effective. If the ref was right back, or the ref, it has very strong missed resistance. He upped his resistance stat.
I mean, he was wearing tape. Did you see his arm? His arm was pretty heavily taped. So like, I don't know. They're stepping up their ref power.
Yeah, he's rising. He's raising up his resistance, man. Scoop slam by Tora, and she goes up, but gets cut off by Suzu. Suzu gets that Frankensteiner and the knee to the back of the head for 2. Excuse me. Strike exchange. Then Suzu unloads, but Tora gets the cradle shock. Lariat by Tora in the corner, and that she hits that beautiful cannonball for 2. The third best cannonball, in my opinion, after Shane Haste and Colton Kelly.
Okay, I can deal with that.
Yeah, Tora hits a frog splash for 2. Tora blocks the Tequila shot and gets a lariat and hits the FU for 2. She hits the scoop slam but misses the swanton, and Suzu gets the tequila roll for 2. Then unloads with kicks and hits the tequila shot for 2, and takes out Marina. I wrote Rihanna. Takes out under my umbrella. She takes out Rena and and Tora comes at her with the pipe, but she ducks it and gets the pipe, hits her with it, hits the rolling chaos theory, and Suzuki picks up a win.
Yes. First off, before we get into the match, I just wanted to mention with Tora, the evolution that we've seen of her, particularly in the last couple months, not in ring because she's still as brutal as she's ever been, but visually, aesthetically speaking, like this absolute change to this blue and black hair has been such a personality change for her as well. Because as much as she is still being brutal, something that I've noticed, I don't know, have you noticed it also now that I've pointed it out? She plays with the hair a lot. And really it's kind of adorable because like before I had this like very masculine kind of look at her where she was like, I know she's a woman, but she has this masculine level of ass kickery that she kind of subjects everyone to. And now she's got this eye makeup that she has just expanded upon that actually is like WWE level TV worthy. Like it's that good. Girl is rocking 2 colored eyeliners and a cut crease. I can't even do that. For the ladies, the ladies are going, oh my God, this is amazing. The gentlemen are going, we have no idea what you're talking about. And that's okay. That's okay. Tora has just really stepped up this year is what we want to take from that. She's really changed herself while still staying true to who she is, and I am absolutely loving it. She's still brutal as all hell, and putting her in with someone like Suzu Suzuki had an incredible match. This match was amazing. Those kicks from Suzu, holy heckity deckity. Those things are just getting like Suri level. They're getting to be Soul Snatcher level. What are you chuckling about over there? You know my words don't always make sense this early. The Germans the German roll through at the end there that Suzu had to do with Tora, I appreciated so much because like Suzu is tiny in comparison to Suzu. The fact that she was able to not only pull the German, do that roll up, and pull off a second German right away, just that girl is just all strength. I love it. Again, top 5 of my favorite of this company. Ooh. Sorry,
wow,
keep my computer.
Melball's trying to take their computer out.
She's so good. I'm trying to yeet things.
We move on to the final match in the Red Stars night. It's Mayu Iwatani versus Natsupoi. Fast start from both. Nat getting the advantage early, gets the camel clutch. Dang, those kicks from Mayu are kind of awful. Like feel it like not awful. They're well kicked. It's just the feeling must be awful.
There's kind of like an almost like throw the foot to the wind feel with them, where she's just kind of kicking wildly and hoping there's a bit of a connection, and there always is.
Yeah, always is. Maya gets a drop kick in the ropes. Pretty much the same move that Nat does. But Nat fights back with the kick, hits the headhunter, followed by her own drop kick in the ropes. Nat dodges the super kick, gets the apron German, then hits a crossbody off the top to Mayu Iwatani on the floor. Nat misses coming off the top in the ring, and Mayu gets the running kick to the face. Roundhouse and a German by Natsupoi, but then Mayu hits her own German and hits the super kick. They start trading strikes. Nat drops Mayu, gets the spin kick into the kneeling spin kick, and then a German for 2. They trade roll-ups. Mayu hits a super kick, then hits a moonsault off the top to the knees. Then hits the frog splash for 2. The cradle, like a cradle dragon sleeper, looked really good. That looked great. That took a lot of effort from both of them to do that. And then Mayu transitions into the snap German, but she only gets 2. Nat gets the Ferial ring for 2, but Mayu gets the tombstone and the buzzsaw kick. But Nat slips out of the Snapdragon, gets a roll-up, and she steals the win.
She did. She really stole this one. I didn't take a whole ton of notes on this one. I kind of just summarized what I thought of this one. But, like, this was a really hard-fought match for 2 very, very usually petite in a grander roster of things. Petite women on the roster. Poi especially has been, like... I talk about her being a little dark fairy, but I say that because she's kind of stepped up her aggression in the ring, which was already pretty high. Like, she's always been known to be that little savage pixie in there. But, like, since joining the Cosmic Angels, that is almost, like, I feel like that level of intensity has gone up, and it's only getting higher. I think it would peak if they actually fully went heel and dropped the cutesy little sparkly doll thing, but I digress. What was that submission that Mayu did on Poi? Because I had no idea to even how to say it. I just wrote that crazy submission on Poi was crazy.
The standing one, right?
I think so.
Where she had her cradled in. It was a dragon sleeper.
Okay, that's what it. Yeah,
dragon sleeper. Yeah.
Right. Yes, because her legs were back behind. Yeah, not a lot of people can do that move with Mayu. You're not going to see her, like, pulling that with Megasis or someone. Just because I think she's too tall. Too tall to get her in there.
There's a tall factor, then there's a flexibility factor, then there's just the balance factor between both people. Nat herself has to have her own balance, while Mayu has to have her own
Mhm.
balance. Well, they also have to have balance together. It's
Absolutely, yeah. It's a very, very hard move to pull off. So when we do see it, it's quite the treat. Yeah, when you said the dragon sleeper, I thought you were talking about I think one of the sleepers in the corner. That's
mm,
what I was thinking of. But yeah, that one was just absolutely meh. It's insane the talent that these women have. And Mayu being the IWGP Women's Champion, she got to pull that stuff out every once in a while to kind of pull off those wins. Unfortunately, not working for her in this one. And
nope.
Poi now wanting a shot at that IWGP Women's Championship. I mean, you like her, so you definitely think she deserves it. I don't know if she's quite ready for that smoke, because that would insinuate she's ready for like the Mercedes Monet, the Utami, Suri. We've seen that she can't hang with Suri, so I don't know. We'll see. She might be able to pull it off. Who knows? See another Poi double champ.
I'd like to see it. Well, she's not even a champion yet. We'll talk about that on the next show. But we move on to the August 12th show. It's Azumi versus Hanan. High speed start from both these two. Like they've worked. I think they really worked a high speed style match here.
100%,
Uh,
100%.
Hanan misses in the ropes, and Azumi drop kicks her in the ropes. Then she gets another drop kick in the corner for 2. Judo toss, and then the splash in the ropes where she like that running like butt splash in the ropes from Hanan, whatever that is. And then a knee to the back of the head. Hanan gets 2. Azumi hits a suplex, then hits the drop kick off the top for 2. Azumi goes back up, but misses the double stomp, and she gets tossed she gets tossed around, gets that back elbow to the back of the head by Hanan. Leg sweep off the second by Hanan into it beautifully transitions it into an arm bar.
Yeah.
Sorry, Azumi got the sweep off the second, and then but Hanan turns it into a stack pin. Like I really like the flow of that. They trade roll ups. Hanan gets the inverted triangle arm bar. But Azumi gets to the ropes, and then a backdrop suplex by Hanan gets her 2. A double armbar by Azumi, but Hanan gets a pin out of it. Like she's transitioning into a pin, but Azumi then gets the kick to the head for 2. She then hits the top rope double stomp, but again only gets 2. Backdrop off the top by Hanan, and then the spinning neck breaker for 2, like a fisherman spinning neck breaker for 2. Then Azumi gets the roll through into the stomp, very Francesco Akira style.
L'amore.
But Hanan does get the backdrop, hits 2 Germans, and Hanan pins Azumi.
Yeah, this one surprised me.
Me
I mean, I'm really happy for Hanan, but like, was not expecting this from Azumi. Since dropping the high speed title, it's been a little questionable, a little iffy for Azumi. Maybe we see her going on, being the next Queen's Quest person, going on a little bit of a journey of self-fulfillment or something. I mean, could you imagine having her here? I would love to see her wrestle Billy Starks, let alone Utami.
I was thinking to myself, if all these girls end up going on journeys, they're just gonna have to call themselves Journey Quest instead of Queen's Quest.
Hey, I don't think their catchphrase would work.
And then they
bow down to the journey.
And then they can get Stardom to buy a Journey song for them to come out to.
Just a small town girl. Oh, focus, Melball. Yeah, the transition you mentioned from the armbar was really, really incredible. That's a very complicated sequence to also do, and like super impressive that you have someone as young as Azumi and Hanan pulling something like that off. I mean, Azumi is only what, 21, 22?
I was gonna say they're like
Hanan's only like
19 and 21, I think, the two of them.
Yeah, like both of these girls very, very young, but so experienced for that young age. I absolutely love it.
I was gonna make a comment, but I know I shouldn't, so I'm gonna.
No, you shouldn't. The pin reversing at the end also was very, very impressive. Again, speaks to the experience and veteran level of both Azumi and Hanan. Hanan, I think that judo background has just tremendously benefited her and her sisters an insane amount, specifically in professional wrestling. And I kind of live for it. I mean, I love seeing those judo tosses kind of thrown in there every once in a while. So, yeah, this was a fun one.
Very much so.
Hmm.
I just think these two have such great flow. I want to see these two girls, just go at it multiple times more.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
every match they could have would be absolutely tremendous.
100%. Would be nice if Azumi still had the high speed title. She could try to go after that.
Yeah. But here, well, if you want to call something tremendous, it was right here. This match was absolutely phenomenal. Again, these are two of my favorite wrestlers in Stardom.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, there's my two out of my top three favorite wrestlers in Stardom right now.
Mhm.
Good start. Each one trying to get the advantage. Julia gets the exploder suplex. Julia gets an STF, but Mina does get to the ropes. Mina slams. They got up on the outside. Mina slams Julia's face into the table at ringside, but then
Mhm.
Julia slams Mina's face into the post. But Julia goes, but Mina moves and Julia runs into the post, and Mina ends up starts slamming the knee of Julia on the mat. She continues slamming the knee on the mat and back in the ring, and then picks her up and like does the knee drop thing, damaging the knee. Applies
Mhm.
the figure four, but then they get into like a slap battle in the figure four. That was great. Uh,
Mhm.
they end up into a strike battle in the center, but Julia gets the drop kick. Mina fights back, drop kicking the knee, and applies the figure four again. But Julia gets to the rope very quickly this time.
Mhm.
Mina gets Julia up on top. They fight, but Julia does get the butterfly suplex off the top. Mina gets a backdrop and a rolling elbow, but Julia gets the running kick, and then they are both down.
Mhm.
Uh, Mina unloads with strikes, but Julia gets the backdrop driver and then the Falcon Arrow for two. Spinning back fist by Mina, but Julia slips the DDT and gets an up kick to the face. Look brutal. Starts hitting
Mhm.
strikes, then hits the knee to the face to the down like a seated Mina for two. Uh, Mina rolls Julia up off the Glorious Driver, like to counter the Glorious Driver. Then she gets a dragon screw into the figure four, and Julia is suffering in this for a while. She's rolling her back and forth, but Julia does eventually get to the ropes. Mina gets her up into the electric chair and gets that electric chair, that spin off face buster out of the electric chair. It looks so good.
Mhm.
Hits the
Mhm.
inverted bloody Sunday for two. Mina reverses a roll up, gets two seat or gets a reverse out of roll up for two, then gets the seatbelt pin for two, follows it up with the glorious sword, hits the implant DDT, then hits the figure four driver Mina for the win.
This was a rough one for me because from like there were points in the match where I'm like, oh my god, Julia's gonna take it. Oh my god, Mina's gonna take it. Oh my god, Julia's gonna take it. Oh my god, Mina's gonna take it. This was a tremendous back and forth where it's like if you went into it thinking, oh, Julia's gonna win this one because she's a double champion and Mina just lost the title, the white belt to Tam a few months ago. She's kind of on a low right now. No, this was definitely a high point for her winning this match. Holy heck and crap. This was very, very hard fought. Um, so good. So
Yeah,
good. I don't even know what else to say. It was just one of those matches where there was just so much intensity, so much emotion behind them. But then afterwards, that was really nice. The little chit chat that they kind of had with each other.
yeah,
Mina asking if she's gotten stronger, and Julia saying, "You were always strong, but next time I'm gonna win." I
yeah.
like that. I
I
really like that.
And I like the Mina saying this is the third year in a row they've been in the same block, and she finally beat her. Like
Mhm,
being able to say she finally did it after 3 years of being
mhm,
in the same
mhm,
block. It's just those little things you really appreciate in those
mhm,
speeches
mhm.
afterwards. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We move on to the main event of Blue Star Night. It's Sayoriana versus Mel's favorite, Utami Hayashishita. Uh, they do a test of strength at the start. I haven't seen one of those in a while.
Mhm,
They had some really good chain wrestling to follow. Excuse me. Anu gets the stunner onto the top, like stunners her onto the top rope.
mhm,
then gets a drop kick off the top for 2. She then gets a bridging inverted triangle. Like, she got the inverted triangle and went like what's her face, Charlotte Flair style with the
Mm-hmm.
bridge to get more leverage on it. But Utami
Mm-hmm.
does, and she like Anu falls out of the bridge, but then Utami gets to the ropes, and then Anu hits the running boot into the ropes. Utami goes up, but Anu ends up suplexing her off, then hits a fisherman suplex bridge for 2. Then she gets the straight jacket submission, but like where the arms are crossed like this, being pulled back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like
But
that.
Tommy does get to, like, she's like kicking her way back to get her foot on the rope.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah, same.
Utami starts unloading shots to Anu, but Anu hits the Enziguri. Then they trade more shots. Utami gets the German. Then Anu gets a German. Then Utami gets a German. Then Anu gets a German, and they're both laid out. Look, that was just such a great sequence. Anu goes to the top, but Utami meets her up there, and she hits an air raid crash off the top. Anu then slips off the shoulders of Utami and gets a fisherman suplex, but Utami spears her after the fisherman suplex, then tries the hijack bomb, but Anu does slip out. Anu gets the bridging German for 2, but Utami then comes back, hits a lariat. But then Anu gets a roll up for 2. But then Utami comes back with another lariat, and that one looked even way more brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Off the shoulder spin out bomb by like I guess like blue thunder bomb almost,
Mm-hmm.
like, but off the shoulders by Utami for 2. Then she gets the swinging Baszler, and then she hits the bridging German for the win.
Yes. I always get very super concerned when I see Sayoriano in matches right now. She's kind of been acting a bit like a spoiler.
Yep.
So seeing her in matches with some of my favorites kind of freaks me out a little bit because I'm like, it really could go either way. Yeah, this match was awesome. I'm really happy Utami picked up this win. Just because I feel after her US tour, we need to keep her momentum going, especially if we want to bring Stardom to a world, more of a world kind of stage here. So we do need to, at the very least, see Utami in the top couple coming out of her block this year. But that being said, Anu, I mean, I'm not the biggest Sayoriano fan. I feel that she, like, her in-ring work is absolutely incredible. And like the submissions and things that she does, absolutely incredible. But there's some wrestlers that we've mentioned before where it's just like they have zero charisma or zero personality. So they're just kind of going through the motions of doing the moves. There's no emotion there. And I think that's what my problem is with Anu, is she does kind of have that personality, but she has the same personality on go all the time, and it's not necessarily meant for every situation. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Because she's kind of always doing that confident, nose in the air, snobbish kind of thing. But there's a lot of moments in her matches where that personality just doesn't work. And
she's Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Oh, okay.
Worse. Like at least Hunter evolved, right? She just kind of does the same face for everything. There's no variety. There's no diversity. At least Triple H had an O face. She doesn't really have an O face. So, that's something I would like to see her kind of improve upon, because it's like this match was so good. But like with her, whenever I saw her, like she's still just stonewall faced. There's very little emotion on her face when she kind of wrestles. So that's something I would like to see a bit more of. But that being said, this match was absolutely incredible. Anu slipped into power mode to meet and match Utami's power, and unfortunately for her, it just wasn't enough.
Yeah. So I'm going to switch over. Just be aware this is a Japanese card because Stardom hasn't released an English one for this date. So I'm just gonna remove the ticker there for a second. If you look really, really close in, you can see the English names underneath. So I'm going to go over Blue Stars, Hanan with 2, Azumi with 2, Maika with 3, Mina Shirakawa in the lead with 6. yes. Momo Watanabe with 4, Utami Hayashishita with 4, Julia with 5, Mirai with 4, Mariah May with 2, sadly, and Sierra with 4. Sierra has had a win and 2 draws to get those 4. So, and then in the Red Stars division, you have Tam Nakano with 4, Hazuki with nothing, sadly enough.
Sadly.
Suri with 3, Natsuka Tora in second place with 6, Suzu Suzuki with 4, Mayu Iwatani with 4, Natsupoi in the lead with 7, Ami Saray with nothing, Charlotte Kid with nothing, and then Sayaka Matani is retired from the tournament due to injury. Yeah.
Yeah. What an interesting series we kind of got going right now.
Oh, very much so. I'm very much again, and it's still anybody's game because some people have wrestled more matches. So one thing about this tournament I don't like is that certain people wrestle more matches than others early, so that you can never really tell who's going to roll in as in the final days.
Yeah.
In mid tournament, in I already had predictions. I got a few of them right on who was going to semifinals with G1, but it's hard to tell with this one. It really is.
It's like if we tried to do this prediction thing with SME this year with Stardom, holy heck, that'd have been confusing.
Very much.
We struggled.
Very much so.
Something we can do next year, though.
Yeah, but we have come to an end, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Thank you so much for joining us. You can find me on there it is, on X, Mastodon, and Hive at that Canada guy. Oh, and Blue Sky at that Canada guy. TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at that Canada dude. My brain's not working right now. You can find me on our Facebook page at Andre M. Melball Wrestling Talk. You can find me popping up doing random ass shit every now and again over on OLE. I should be I'm looking to be joining Carl Carafel on I can't remember his co-host partner on Turnbuckle.
Chris Best in OMD.
Oh, on Turnbuckle Talk next Tuesday. I will be I am slated to join them as long as my world doesn't implode before then. Over on twitch.tv/our local establishment. You can also find all the replays at youtube.com/our local establishment. And don't forget, you might be watching us on Backbreaker Video. So if you are, hit the subscribe button to Backbreaker Video. And if you're not, after you finish watching the video on Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, head over there, check out all the great wrestling content at youtube.com/@Backbreaker Video. Then you can check out all Mike's live Twitch content at twitch.tv/Mike the Ref. He's got wrestling watch-alongs. He plays video games over there, all great stuff. And if you want to get replays of him playing video games, you can check him out at youtube.com/@Backbreaker_gaming, where you can find him, Mr. PJC, Mr. Rick Jules, and the wonderful, 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 their frequent special guest, Miss Kayla J.
Kayla J! Love Kayla J. She's amazing.
Check all that out. Melba, where can they find you, madame?
If you're wanting to follow Melball, you can follow her on the X thing. I almost said Twitter. At Collins Melball, you can follow her on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky. At Melball Collins, you can find her on Our Local Establishments programming Paramindful with Alex the Werewolf and Carl Carufel. Every other Monday, we've got one dropping this Monday coming out. You want to check that out. You can also catch me on Astro Pizarro's YouTube channel, where we will be doing our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. We do have another show coming out tomorrow. We're going to be talking predominantly about Stardom wrestlers. So you want to come check that out. Shout out to the beautiful Natural. We love her. Get that arm up. Don't hit the microphone. Yay. And also, if you're wanting to watch Stardom Wrestling, we will leave a link in our channel description, but you can go to stardom-world.com. The price is approximately 999 yen, or approximately $10 Canadian. Shout out Sean Spears. But it's actually more like $7.15. That being said, $7.15, still a great price to be able to check out some incredible women's wrestling, as well as the database of their past matches. You want to go back in there, you might find some familiar faces from AEW and WWE in there. So just go back in there and check it out. That being said, my friend, do we have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
I just want to say thank you to all of you for tuning in. Please like the channel, subscribe to the channel, comment down below because we love talking to you, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know every time we drop a new video. God damn, I can't talk this morning.
Ding dong.
Hello. Shut up, Bailey. Yeah, but thank you all so much for joining us here today.
That being said, I am your Melball. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Mwah!